Back, everybody. Before I start this one, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been commenting, liking, and sharing the videos. I hope you're all getting as much out of them as I am making them. It's been really, really enjoyable, and it's always lovely to have good feedback. So what I want to have a look at today are 3 different ways you can route your signal in the AX8, depending on your preference. That won't make any difference to the way your presets sound, but will change the workflow and I guess the aesthetic element of it as well. So what I've done here is I've taken the same amp model with exactly the same settings everywhere, and I have copied it with the same cabinet, again exactly the same settings, and a delay block, and I've copied it into 3 different presets with different routing. As you can see, number 1 is just a single row of shunts with the delay connected in series, and I've set the delay mix to 50% there. Then in number 2, I've connected the delay in parallel, and if you watch my other video on parallel routing, you'll see that the settings here in the mixer basically correspond to having the delay at 50% mix, so as loud as the dry signal. And in number 3, what I've done is, rather than connect it in parallel and shunt it back into the main thing, I've simply shunted it to the end. In the output section, I've got all the rows set to the same level. So basically, in all 3 of these presets, the dry signal and the delayed signal should be at the same level. So let's go to preset number 1, and let's hear what that sounds like. Nice and lush. Let's have a listen to number 2. And finally, number 3. And let me just cycle through those again for you so you can hear. If you can tell a difference, your ears are far, far finer than mine. From the perspective of gain structure in the AX8, they're identical. And basically what this means is, advantage-wise, obviously in number 1, we've got fewer shunts. So fewer shunts in number 1, and a far more straight-ahead way to control the mix. However, as I described in my other video with parallel routing, if we were using, for example, a reverb as well, and we didn't want the reverb to affect the delay trails, we could connect that in parallel with a set of shunts here. Or we could do the same thing in number 3 by setting up another line. I guess the advantage of number 3 is if we've got a delay, and for example, I wanted to add a phaser or say a flanger only to the delay repeats, that's incredibly easy to do just by connecting another block. And you can hear there the flanger isn't affecting the dry signal, but it is affecting the delay repeats. If I wanted to do that, say in number 2, I would have to add another shunt, which is, of course, very straightforward to do. I'll disconnect that one there and add that, and then I can add my flanger block as I did before. And I can control the mix of all of this by using the level control here for my delay. If I wanted to control the mix in number 1, I'm simply using, guess what, the mix knob. But in number 2, if I want to actually control the amount of delay, I would use the level control here rather than the mix. And in number 3, if I wanted to control the level, the easiest way to do it is actually here in the output section in the mixer. You see that the delay is on row number 3, so I would simply adjust number 3 to control my delay mix. So again, it sort of comes down to personal preference there. All 3 routing schemes sound the same in the AX8, and I guess they let you do certain effects routing if you want effects in parallel, or if you want, you would probably use number 2 in order to add, say, a reverb over here, or a reverb in a chorus or something like that, and have all the effects be independent of one another, or if you wanted to add effects purely to the delay repeats, or you wanted to use a wet dry wet setup with a power amp, scheme number 3 is fine. But for mere mortals like the rest of us, number 1's fine. So yeah, there we go, 3 different routing schemes to use in the AX8 when you're constructing your affected tones. If you guys like what you've seen, please subscribe, share the videos, tell your mates, and I will have plenty more content coming your way very soon. Thank you.